Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the Rant, where if you have something to say, you better post it here today. All right, I'm so excited for this episode. I'm going over the NFL Wildcard Weekend matchups. Let's do this. I'm going to tell you who's going to win by the minimum of how much they'll win by, and also 3 reasons why I don't trust the coach that I believe will be a part of the losing team, and 3 reasons why I do trust the coach that I believe will be a part of the winning team. Now, I call Wildcard Weekend the head coaching weekend. Why is this important? Because head coaches are more important in this round than almost any other round in the playoffs, in my opinion. 3 reasons. 1, you have to have a coach that is willing to take the team from a regular season mindset and a regular season speed to a playoff mindset and a playoff speed too. You have to have a coach that can make game plans that are successful very quickly. You're running out of time and you're only playing an opponent one time. It's 1, killed or be killed. 3, you have to look at a coach who's not going to look ahead. They're going to keep their eye on the prize. Not looking ahead, but actually staying here. So those are the reasons why I believe Wildcard Weekend is crucial for head coaches to make their mark. First, let's look at the Bills and Texans matchup. Now, I cannot trust Bill O'Brien for 3 reasons. 1, this man has the Dr. Jekyll Hyde effect on the Houston Texans. Yes, he's 6 games above 500, above the midline, okay? He's 6 games above that for his 6 years with the Texans, but you got to look at the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde effect. I mean, this team...
Ironically, the running back last name is Hyde.
But you got to look at the irony, right? This team can get whooped by Baltimore, whoop the Patriots, then get whooped by the Denver Broncos with a rookie quarterback. What's happening when you're pursuing a home playoff game? This is troubling to me, so I can't trust him for that reason. I also can't trust him because of his home record and his overall record in the playoffs. This man says he's 1 for 4, right? That's what it says on his resume. It should be 0 for 4. Remember, Derek Carr was hurt when they played the Oakland Raiders. He had snapped his leg when he was on an MVP tear. He snapped his leg and wasn't able to play. So Carter Cook was in that whole playoff win that O'Brien led the Texans to. It's hard for me to give the credit. So he should be really 0 and 4 or 0 and 5. That's what I believe. So I can't really trust him for that perspective. Also, too, he can't have his fingerprints, okay? He can't put them on the team. This man's supposed to be an offensive guru, right? That's what everybody was telling me when he got signed, and I was excited. But one of the things that I've noticed is they haven't had a top 10 scoring offense since he's been there. Yes, they got close with Deshaun with 11, and you can't sneeze at that, but that's a little troubling to me. When you're known for being one of the best offensive minds, you can't reach top 10 in the regular season where the competition isn't as stiff and the energy isn't as tough. That's a little concerning for me, so I can't trust, but I can trust Sean McDermott. When you gotta look, he can do more with less. Look at his first 3 seasons with the Buffalo Bills. 2 winning seasons despite having risky quarterback play. I mean, yeah, they're talented. Tyrod Taylor, Josh Allen, talent, but it's not materialized. So when you see that he has winning seasons, you see that he was actually competitive in his playoff game, you got to notice he could do more with less. That defense is nothing to sneeze at. I believe ESPN reported since 2018 they might have the 2nd best defense regarding 30 plays with 30 yards or more and just obliterating those plays. They do not allow 30 more yards or more when it comes to defense. They don't allow 30 yards or more when it comes to defense. It's rare. It's rare. I'm not talking about plays. We call those explosive plays. You got to look at it from that perspective. His defense is real. You got to look at too. When he had into the playoffs and he played the Jacksonville Jaguars, everybody crushed him. Oh, the Bills are terrible. They lost 10-3. Well, Jacksonville had an elite defense. 1, 2. You got to look at another thing, his defense played good. Yes, it was a Blake Bortles team, but Blake Bortles put 45 points in Pittsburgh the next week, then 20 in Foxborough the next week, and he game managed the AFC Championship in his first one. So you can't sneeze at the effort that he did. I could trust Sean McDermott. Also, too, Sean McDermott has house money. He playing with house money. There is no pressure on this man. This man is not projected to win. This team is supposed to lose, so he's playing with house money. I'm picking the Bills by 3. The Bills will win by a minimum of 3 points this weekend. I told you first. Okay, let's look at the next AFC matchup. The Titans and the Patriots. Tighten up. Okay, I go for Chiefs first, and then I root for the Titans second, but I gotta keep it 100. That's why this hurts me. I can't trust Mike Vrabel. Yes, he's had success as a player in the postseason, but not a coach in the postseason. Those are 2 totally different things. We've seen this materialize all the time, all the way to Mike Singletary, where he was an amazing Hall of Fame top 100 player, but as a coach, it just didn't materialize. So I can't look at Mike Vrabel and say, I have confidence he'll be able to do it this weekend. Also, too, look at him. His team plays up for teams, and they also play down for teams. And that's something that's very frustrating. Anybody that's followed the Titans recently, they can win and beat the Patriots 34-10, or they can lose an easy game to a team team that they're supposed to beat. This happens all the time. So with that up and down, I think it's going to do them bad because this week everybody's thinking the Patriots are going to be down. If they think the Patriots are going to be down, I think that's going to be their effort. I don't think they're going to come out and hit them in the mouth like if it was the Patriots dynasty at its apex, right? So with the Mike Vrabel, I can't trust that perspective. Also, too, I can't trust that Mike Vrabel is going to bring home the goods for a historic game going to Foxborough in January. I don't care what kind of team it is. That's going to be tough. I can't trust that he's going to be on the right side of history. So I can't trust Bill Belichick. I can trust that he takes your number one option away. I have not seen Tennessee function at a high level against a quality opponent with Derrick Henry not being a factor. I have not seen. I actually think they're undefeated when Derrick Henry is 100 yards or more rushing. So they're going to take away the number one. That's Derrick Henry. Number two, he is 17-1 when you play a team twice after losing to him. And I heard this stat, I believe, from Fox Sports. And that's incredible if that's true. And it makes a lot of sense. Basically, this team is the same from last year minus Tannehill. Now, remember, Tannehill was a huge upgrade versus Mariota. I actually wanted Tannehill to get up in there because I knew he could play, but I did not know he could ball like this. This was a different level. But I think a lot of his balling is because of that running game. So if you take that away, I believe that the Patriots will have the upper hand. Also, too, the Patriots are at home at Foxborough. I believe that Belichick will be able to capitalize on that. He's going to capitalize on the mystique. He's going to prevent the dynasty from falling one more week. I'm predicting that the Patriots will win by at least 10. They're going to try to send a statement to everyone in the league, mostly to the Chiefs, that we're coming. Let's move to the Vikings and the Saints. I can't trust Mike Zimmer. Why? This man is up and down roller coaster ride. First season with the Vikings, 7 wins, which you understand. He's a new coach. Next season, I believe it was like 11 wins. Okay, cool. Next season, 8 wins. Okay, what? Next season, 13 wins. Okay, great. Next season, 8 wins. Okay, and then this year, 10 wins. You see the up and down? That does not bode well for a playoff run or a playoff team. You have to have a model of consistency, and I'm concerned that he doesn't have that. When you look at his playoff record, I think it's reflective. Now, it says 1-3. I believe it should be right? I don't believe that he should have a victory. Why? Because when you look at that win, the Minnesota Miracle, it was literally on a saint falling down. A miracle, a prayer, Saint falling. That's funny to me. That's funny to me. Right? There was so much happening for them to win. It was a fluke. It was a second string quarterback in Case Keenum, which really he should be a second string, throwing a prayer up to Stephon Diggs, and Diggs taking it to the end zone on the last play of the game. Everybody knows that they were not ready to advance. That's why the next week they lost 38-7 to the Eagles. Now, yes, the Eagles will go on to win the Super Bowl, so it's a tough team, but they weren't in their stratosphere, and that's because they shouldn't have won that first game. So when you look at it from that perspective, I can't trust that Mike Zimmer's going to put his toughness on Kirk Cousins. I've still seen Kirk Cousins fail to make the big plays, fail to lead the fourth quarter comebacks and big games. This man's toughness of Mike Zimmer is not pouring into Kirk Cousins, and we need that. Zimmer is a tough coach. He's a good coach, and he has a toughness about him, a business sense about him that isn't getting home to Kirk Cousins. That's alarming to me. It might be a Kirk Cousins issue, but right now you have to put it on the head coach, and I'm not sure he's going to be able to get Kirk Cousins ready for this matchup. Also, you have to look at why I can trust Sean Payton. One, he's an offensive genius. So yes, the Vikings have a strong defense, but I believe that Sean will be able to scheme players open with all of these playmakers coming to life these last couple of weeks. Two, you have to look at how Sean Payton is a different beast at home versus the road. Now, this is one of the reasons why I think Drew Brees is a little overrated. Let's wait for that video a little bit later. It's coming. And one of the reasons why is because they can't deliver the goods on the road like they can at home. And it's not close. I wish it was a little bit closer. So when you look at Sean Payton, he's a different beast. And then you got to look at, too, Sean Payton is very competitive. One of my favorite moments of the decade is Sean Payton putting up the choking hands to an Atlanta Falcons player in a regular season game. Oh, he is so competitive. So he's going to be using the Minnesota Miracle as bulletin board material. You best believe that's going to happen. And he's going to make sure that the Saints wipe them off the face of the playoff earth. Okay, it's going to be crazy. So Saints are going to win by at least 10 this weekend. The last NFC matchup, the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. I cannot trust Doug Peterson. Why? He's predicated this whole Super Bowl run off of emotion. I hear it all the time in his interviews. He gets mad with the reporters and nobody believes in us. No one's trusted. You can't fuel a team on that. That has to be the last little push to get you over. You have to have a great owner, a great GM, great coach, great quarterback, right? Or at least good in those departments to have the structure that you need. Then you can sprinkle the emotions. You have to have that structure. Doug Peterson doesn't have it. I have not seen it. I've just seen these emotions, and it's hard to carry that for years. I've seen Rex Ryan, who wasn't a great emotional leader. He took a Jets team that honestly didn't have the great owner, didn't have the great GM, didn't have the great quarterback, and he wasn't even a great coach. I think he's a really good coach, but he wasn't even a great coach. But you have to look at Rex Ryan. He took this team and they elevated. He did more with less, in my opinion. It was one of the most impressive things that I've seen in the playoff recent history. But those teams fizzled out because of the emotions, and I think that's going to happen to Doug Peterson if he's not careful. Also, you got to look at how he's allowed mediocrity. That's concerning to me. He's allowed these terrible time turnovers, the secondary blown assignments, the wide receiver drops. He's allowing mediocrity too much to then go and just flip a switch. This is not a Nick Foles-led team, a veteran who's had success as a starter in the league. That's not what this is. This is Carson Wentz, who is unproven. That's why the third point, I can't trust that he's going to bring Carson Wentz home, that he's going to be able to tell him what to do. He's going to be able to tell him this is what you need to do. If, for say, he throws 0 touchdowns and 2 picks in the first half, well, how is he going to rally him back? I think he's had the benefit of having Nick Foles, having that veteran leadership, that confidence and that swag. I don't think Carson had that. And so for Doug Peterson to instill that to him, I don't trust it. I do trust Pete Carroll. One, Pete Carroll's passion is amazing. He has that structure all the way down, like we've been talking about, and he sprinkles that passion perfectly. That's why this team emotionally is always tough. You never know what's going to happen. The Seahawks have never went into a game where I believe they're not in it. They can't win this game. They are tough. I think Pete Carroll's actually the most winningest coach outside of Bill Belichick since 2013? I forgot the year. So it makes sense to me. Pete Carroll can do this. Also, too, you got to look at how Pete Carroll has clockwork. This is what he does. Underdogs, winning games that they shouldn't win. This is a part of his aura. This is a part of the Seahawks culture. This is what they do. Last thing, a part of what they do is road warriors. I believe they have a better road record even this year than a home record. They can go on the road. They're not scared to go anywhere. So it is amazing to see this team thrive. I believe the Seahawks will win this game by it. So those are my matchups for this weekend. Make sure you like the video, comment, tell me if I'm wrong, okay? You got to tell me if your team's going to make it through or if your team's not going to make it through. And remember, yes, I'm a Chiefs fan first, a Titans fan second, then the rest of the league next. But that's okay. I still try to keep it 100. I try to call it exactly how I see it. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment in the comment section if your team's going to make it through. And why, you better rebuttal my 3 points if you have a problem with my 3 points, because if you're wrong, I will correct you. Bye-bye.